Today we have Mirella from Prestige One Developments. Hello Mirella, how are you?
Good, I'm great. Thank you.
Thank you for coming and joining us today.
Pleasure. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the real estate market and of course with reference to Prestige One Developments.
Yes.
How resilient do you believe Dubai's property market is to global economic shifts?
Actually, Dubai's market is one of the most resilient markets given what the government is helping with, the vision of the government, the long-term vision. We're talking about a vision of the 2040 vision. So it's based, Dubai real estate market is based on very solid basis, you know, especially after the 2008 and 9 crisis. So there were, they brought so many laws and regulations to protect and to solidify this industry and to protect the investors. That's why investors felt very safe bringing their money, investing in Dubai. And throughout the history, specifically after 2008 and 9, and what happened after post-COVID, Dubai market, the real estate market in Dubai demonstrated that it's very solid, that it's like every industry, there are cycles, but it's always booming.
Yes.
And this is based on facts, numbers, and figures that no matter what happens in Dubai, the real estate industry booms, keeps on booming, keeps on growing, and the prices keeps on increasing, and investors keep on making money. So this is one of the most solid industries in Dubai, especially that, as I said, the government made sure that the rules and regulations by Dubai Land Department are here to protect the investors despite whatever happens. It's a country that plans for years ahead.
Yes.
So it's not the basis of Dubai, it's based on planning, on long-term vision. We are, thank God, blessed to have great leaders with great visions for years ahead. That's why no matter what happens globally, you see that most of the millionaires and billionaires, despite everything, they are moving their capitals to Dubai because they believe in this country, they believe in our leadership, and they believe in the very long-term vision of Dubai.
What features today define a truly competitive residential product, let's say, based on Prestige One?
Actually, there are so many building blocks, as we say, so many requirements to define a good project, especially a good residential project. Today, if we want to talk about investors in Dubai, be it investors or end users,
yes,
they became more smart. So, and they know the market very well. They know what do they want. So the good developers today are the developers that align what they are offering with the demand of the investors and end users. So that's why today, especially that they will have almost 3,000 developers in Dubai by 2030. So there's a huge competition between developers. That's good for the investors because the quality keeps on, improving. And as well, it's not just about only the quality, which is prime, which is the most essential. We in Prestige One, for us, it's all about quality. We never compromise on quality at all. That's one of our pillars, one of our main, basics, which is quality, very high-end quality. And as well, we equip all of our projects, not most of them, we include lots of amenities so that the people living, either the investors, they'll be able to rent out their apartments at a very good price, and the end users or the tenants living in the apartment will feel like they are living in somehow a community. There's no need to leave at some point the building because of world-class amenities. We introduced different types, new amenities to our projects, such as, for example, we have podcast rooms in different projects.
Which is amazing. I mean, I haven't seen that in the markets yet. So this is something that's unique and different, and also gives people from different types of backgrounds when it comes to work to actually feel like they are home and they don't even need to leave, as you mentioned.
Absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely. We cater the needs of Dubai's residents nowadays. Yes. So we saw, especially after COVID, there was a boom in the number of people or of the podcasts. That's why we provided them in many of our projects with podcast rooms where they can shoot their own podcast, especially in areas where that attract students, for example, that attract different types of employees. So we cater to the needs of the tenants. Definitely, we have the typical, the normal amenities, but we have different types of amenities. Literally, in some projects, we have over 50 amenities in one project. So that's why we are delivering quality of material and quality of living. So in Prestige One, it's all about quality, and it's all about delivering projects that exceed the expectations of the investors.
Which is something that's very good for investors to know. I mean, I do know you did mention investors are knowledgeable these days about the market, and it's because of everything that's provided to them on the net and on the media, and everything is there for them to see. However, also when it comes to investors, maybe sometimes too many options, well, this stresses them in not knowing what to choose and what is best for them. So it's always good to know of the things that you offer, which is different from what is available in the market, in order to see where they fit best.
That's why we are very keen on value for money.
Yes.
So we offer value. We offer value, as I said, be it in the quality of our projects and the quality of the amenities and everything we offer. We are Prestige. Our name is Prestige. So everything we offer is prestigious and is up to the level of our brand name, because this is the vision of the owner of the company, Mr. Ajmal Saifi, who is an investor by himself. Because Mr. Ajmal, he is an investor. Mr. Ajmal, he started, our history goes back to 2007, since Mr. Ajmal started investing in Dubai real estate. Even during the crisis of 2008 and 2009, he believed big time in Dubai and in the vision of our leaders. So he grew his portfolio up to more than 5,000 plus properties. And fast forward to COVID days, he increased his land bank. So it's because he's an investor himself, he knows what investor requires. That's why whenever delivering, whenever working on any project, he keeps in mind his investors. He thinks, because he is an investor himself, he thinks as an investor, and he provides investors everything they need in a project.
Which is something that's very unique and different. It's good from an investor's perspective to know what they need and cater to that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For sure. And how do you protect investor value during market corrections?
I mentioned something now that we, in Prestige One, or precisely Mr. Ajmal Saifi, he purchased most of his lands. By the way, we don't do any JVs.
Yes.
So we are a self-reliant developer. Basically, everything we do is in-house. We have control over everything. So, for example, our development team is in-house, our engineers, the CRM, the sales, everything is in-house. And even later stage this year, we are launching our own contracting company. That's why, and given that Mr. Ajmal, he acquired his land bank in COVID days, he got it at a good price back then.
Yes.
That's why we don't overprice. So the value we are giving, and I told you something, we never compromise on quality. So we are giving our investors a top-notch quality that should be maybe 10x more expensive than what we are offering, but at a very reasonable price, so that we are offering them the value. So whatever happens in the market, they still make a huge range of appreciation with Prestige One, given that, as I said, we don't do JVs, we own our lands, everything is in-house. So somehow we save this money to offer value to our investors.
Which is very important for investors to know, and really good that you do offer that.
Yes, absolutely.
Now we're moving on to which marketing tools generate the highest quality investors today, out of your experience?
Marketing is key. Marketing is very essential.
Yes.
Especially now that you have, as I said, we have over 2,900 plus developers active now in the market. The competition is fierce.
Yes.
and everybody is relying, the most smart developers, they rely on good marketing.
Yes.
However, we believe, I come from a marketing background, from a communication background, so I have a solid experience in marketing myself. Given the vision of Mr. Ajmal, we believe in a sort of marketing that is referral based, based on experiences, based on successful cooperation. The best marketing is the word-to-mouth marketing. Definitely, we live in the era of social media. Yeah. We cannot escape the fact that today, main tool in social media, in marketing, is social media. So social media is key, and it's definitely very useful, but we need to know how to use it and how to position ourselves, because the competition is fierce. And if I put myself in the investor shoes, how would I know which developer is best? Because I'm seeing like a flood of advertisements online. How would I know? Here we rely, especially in our trainings, in our academy, when training the brokers, and given my long experience in training brokers, we work on transforming the broker from an agent to a consultant.
Yes.
So that they advise the clients on the right product.
Exactly.
Because product knowledge is very important. Knowledge of the market is very important. Today's real estate scene is no longer transactional. It's not anymore about transactions. It's about knowledge. It's about data. It's about information. So, and now with the AI as well entering the scene, it becomes very important to highlight, to have this human touch, really to highlight the differentiation between a developer and another. So marketing is key, but as well, what is very important is the human factor, to the knowledge of the brokers, of the agents, to keep on adding to their knowledge, to their market knowledge, to the numbers. For example, today, it's very essential to go back to the history of Dubai real estate amid what is happening now. So very good to know. It's very essential now for brokers to know what to tell the investors in what's happening right now, to rely on the facts and figures and numbers and the history of what happened during 2008 crisis, during COVID, and even it's a minor crisis, but what happened during after the floods a couple of years ago. Well-educated brokers are the brokers that will survive in this market, and solid developers are the developers that will survive. Because I want to highlight something, and I want to position Prestige One, what differentiates Prestige One from other developers. So there are so many developers, with all due respect, at some point, they rely mainly on marketing, because we're talking about marketing. So what is their control over their project? It's minimal. Why? Let me explain. The plots, they get it as a JV, joint venture, okay? So they outsource everything. They outsource the contractor. They outsource the engineering company. At some point, maybe they outsource the sales. They get a master agency to sell the project. So basically, how much do they really control the situation? And even the money, the capital, they get it from investors.
Yes.
So supposedly, what if an investor wants to back out? What would happen? You might see many stopped projects, God forbid. But that's what usually happens when there's a certain crisis in the market. So relying only on huge marketing without having the solid basis a developer must have, it's not really enough. And here, the broker should be very aware about the history of the developer. Who is this developer? How do they function? How do they work? Do they only rely on the investor's money and getting grants by having joint ventures and relying on third parties, or they are self-reliant? Today, a broker, if he wants to protect himself and his investor, because in this market, today, as we are speaking, we have over 70,000 brokers. But how many of these brokers are solid brokers? The only broker that will survive whatever crisis that might happen is the well-educated broker, is the broker knowledgeable and who will protect his investor, because it's not easy to have a portfolio of investors.
Of course.
And you need to protect your investor, to advise him. You are an advisor.
Yes.
Unfortunately, so many brokers, all they think about, unfortunately, I'm talking about the minority because if I go down to the street right now, I ask 100 people, what do you do in life? Maybe 90 will tell me I'm a real estate agent.
Yes.
Almost everybody is a real estate agent in Dubai. But tell me what is the percentage of the good agents, of the professional agents? So if you work on yourself, on your knowledge, on your market knowledge, on product knowledge, on your skills as well, on your communication skills, and wear the hat of an advisor, not just an agent thinking only about your commission,
of course,
you will be among the top brokers who will survive whatever crisis that might happen in the market. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is very important. So yes, marketing is very important, but marketing only without a solid basis is not enough.
Yes.
So having a solid basis, being, for example, a developer that is self-reliant, these are the developers that will remain in the market and that nothing will shake them. Just, I want to highlight something. We are a zero debt company. So we don't, zero loans, zero debt. This is the type of developers that the investors should seek, that they will feel safe, that their money is in the safe and in the right place, that no matter what, the construction will go on, the project will never stop. You can go to all our sites right now. All our sites are active. So this is the type of developer that will survive. And this is the real marketing based on word to mouth, on referrals. This is the type of marketing I believe in personally, and we believe in Prestige One.
Agreed. For sure. From your perspective, how is the real estate profession evolving today, particularly in a dynamic market like Dubai?
As we just said, it's the real estate industry now requires well-educated brokers. Well-educated, I mean market-educated. So it's no longer a transactional industry. No longer like it was 10 and 15 years ago. The agent is no longer just doing the transaction and that's it. Because the investors now, especially with the exposure of social media and the big booming of real estate in Dubai, the investors need well-educated brokers. They need consultants. They don't need agents.
Yes.
Because they are putting, it's not like they are paying a small amount of money. Some people, they are putting their savings into one investment. Maybe it could be they are buying their home. So that's why agents today should be very well knowledgeable to know how to advise, how to guide the client, how to make decisions based on facts, based on, it's a long-term relationship. So the broker who will succeed, who will survive, who will stay in the market is the broker who is more of a consultant rather than just an agent or a broker or doing just the admin work. Here, consultancy is key. So this is how the market is shifting. It's shifting from a transactional market to a knowledge-based market, yes, data-driven. Today, especially in the age of AI, data is key. Numbers speak. Figures speak. The investors, be it small or big investors, are the ones that want to have a clear idea about the Dubai transactions, about the numbers, about the figures, about the possible ROI, about, yes, the rental yields, specific information that will help them make the right decision.
Which area? Information, I believe, also is key for every knowledgeable consultant, as you said, to have. And if they don't have it, they're not really giving the investor the full trust and opportunity of why to work with them as
Absolutely.
Well. Yes.
Absolutely. You cannot sit with an investor and just talk about features, because, yes, at some point you'll become like a brochure.
Exactly.
And I was giving a training session last week for brokers, and I was saying, like, unfortunately, there's a huge number of brokers, they consider themselves brokers, but they are a living brochure. All they do is they recite, as if they are reciting poetry, yes, and they go through features. The investor doesn't need to know only about features. He can go through the features over the website of the developers, or features, he can find them everywhere.
Definitely.
He needs consultancy, he needs comparison, he needs
why
someone
to pick this investment over the many others that are in the market,
Absolutely,
which they can find online anyways.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's why there's the homework.
Exactly.
I always say this, brokers should, it's not an easy job.
Yes.
It demands. And even when I train our sales consultants at Prestige One, I encourage them every single day to go through the official Dubai Land Department page, the official applications, to go through the daily transactions, because knowledge is at the core of everything.
Of course.
You cannot be a successful sales consultant if you are not knowledgeable and if you don't follow up on a daily basis on the transactions happening in Dubai, happening in the market.
Never stops. So
absolutely.
If we stop for a second, or let's say blink, we would have missed many that is along the way that has happened. So I think this is really key. The more it's evolving, the more we should as consultants also evolve with the market.
And if you don't evolve, you will be extinct. That's why you see that so many brokers, they disappeared, they left. Unfortunately, there are brokers, they try and they can't even survive for more than 6 months. It's not an easy job. It's not a job for everyone. So, and the market is filtering itself, which is good. And whenever there's a crisis, sometimes, as I said previously, everything functions on like cycles.
Yes.
So every time we have sort of a situation, let's call it a situation, it helps filtering the market, filtering the brokers and filtering the developers, which helps, as at the end of the day, the good investors.
Yes.
And that's what's going to happen nowadays with what's happening now in the region. The type of investor, it's good for good brokers because even the market now will filter the investors.
Yes.
The investor that a smart broker should seek is the investor who thinks long term, not the flippers, because you have these types of investors who are bargaining. So he buys now, he wants to sell after a couple of months just to flip it to make a minimal, let's say, appreciation. This is not the investor. This investor now will freak out, will freeze. The investors that are very hesitant, they are seeking maybe low tickets. These investors today, you will not find them in the market. They will freeze, they will stop. The smart investors, though, are the investors who invest in such situations, in such times, because they know, and based on history, as we said, on numbers and figures, this is the time to invest, because after some time, after everything goes back to normal and living in Dubai, everything will normalize very soon, sooner than later, the prices will go up. So the best time to buy is now.
Dubai has become one of the most attractive real estate markets globally. What do you think makes this market unique from a professional and industry standpoint, which as well we were discussing?
We were discussing. So thanks to our leaders, thanks to the vision of our government, we live in a country that plans for the future. So we are talking about the 2040 plan, and there are so many plans into execution as we are speaking. So for example, last week, the phase 2 of, the infrastructure for example, Hessa Street and the connectivity. So they keep on working. It's a country, it's a city-state that never stops, Dubai. So whatever happens, nothing will stop Dubai.
Yes.
Because, as I said, it's a government based on long-term vision. There's a planning. So it might get a bit delayed due to some circumstances, but they know very well, they are very well prepared. They are very smart. Thank God we are living with the most visionary leaders, and nothing will stop us. And I believe after what's going to happen, the number of billionaires moving to Dubai and families moving to Dubai, it's going to increase, because they will see that no matter what, the government is really fast at correcting any situation, and it keeps on, as I said, the market keeps on moving and growing. Even today, amid of whatever is happening now, it's still more safe to be living in Dubai than be living in any country in Europe where you don't know who will come and I don't know, stab you to take your purse, or it's still, whatever happens, we still feel safe. We're having this conversation now, and I can't feel safer being here in Dubai.
For sure. Being born and raised here, I've never felt at one point that our leaders did not have the visionary of actually protecting whomever lives here, whether they are internationals or locals. This is something that's very blissful to have, and not many countries are able to provide this.
Absolutely,
to be honest,
absolutely.
Sure. So looking ahead, how do you see the future of real estate profession evolving in Dubai, and what advice would you give to the next generation entering this industry today?
As we said, it's an industry, it's evolving. It's going to correct itself. So the broker that will survive is the professional broker. This is why brokers are invited to study more, to learn more, especially today. They need to study more about the history of real estate.
Yes.
So, and to think long term. Today we're talking about three elements. Knowledge is very important. What a broker needs now is, first of all, absolutely knowledge, product knowledge, market knowledge, history knowledge. Two, emotional intelligence as well.
Yes.
And that's something we give heavy trainings in our academy in Prestige One. We help brokers to develop their skills because you need to match the client. You need, whenever you have any meeting or any conversation with the client, the basic rule in sales, the very basic rule is, if I like you, I buy from you. If I don't like you, I don't buy from you. And we add to it, if I trust you, I buy from you. If I don't trust you, I don't buy from you.
Sure.
So we help brokers to develop their skills, how to create rapport with their clients, how to understand their clients, how to feel, how to empathize, how to put themselves in the shoes of the client, how to listen. Because unfortunately, so many brokers, all they do is, as I said, they act as brochures. They start from the hello, talking. Wrong. They need to listen. You need to know the need of the client. You need to understand what are their needs. So you need to make them talk and to make them feel comfortable.
In order to cater to their needs, to suggesting what is the best fit for them.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we work a lot on the skills of the brokers to develop their skills and to focus on their emotional intelligence, to empathize and to create this bond with the client. And three, this is two, so emotional intelligence. Three is building long-term relationships.
Because so important, because they're recurring clients.
Exactly.
And I mean, as we did mention before, we did say referrals and word of mouth is also essential. From any client that it can trust you, they will also suggest that they work with you from whoever they know, friends, family, connections. And this is something that's so important, as well as them being a recurring client if they ever want to sell or invest in something else.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Today, who would you trust? Would you trust an advertisement online, or would you trust your friend or your brother or your cousin telling you, look, Pamela, I had an amazing experience with Mirella and she advised me on a great investment and a project, and I highly advise you to work with her.
Of course.
What would you trust
I would
more?
trust someone who actually tried and had this experience of actually getting someone to consult them rather than just sell them anything that they see online.
Yeah,
so, yes.
Absolutely. Because this is one of the basics of persuasion skills, which is based on the opinions and experience of others. For example, now, if you want to buy anything from Amazon, what's the first thing you do?
Reviews.
Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Reviews. You need to know what other people think.
Yes.
This is more important than the nice layouts or the nice pictures taken for the product. You see what people are saying about the product. And this is the best marketing tool ever. So a broker should think long term. If you want to stay in this market, if you want to benefit from Dubai real estate, you need to wear the hat again of a consultant, like a doctor in real estate. You need to assess.
Yes.
So before sitting, we go back to let's say having a conversation with client. You need to think as a doctor. You need to assess, to diagnose what's happening in order for you to give the best options for your client. So this is the type of broker that will survive, that will stay, and that will make big money in Dubai real estate.
Thank you, Mirella. I just
pleasure.
want to end it with a little brief about Prestige One's current projects, let's say.
Yes. So currently, we never stop launching. We are launching, especially. So we launched. Our slogan basically is, we are the heart of every location. So we were the pioneer to launch projects in different areas. For example, our first project, Vista, that was launched in Sports City, it came to Sports City after 12 years of freeze in Sports City. So we came to Sports City, we launched Vista, and other developers followed. We have, for example, we were the first to launch projects in Dubai Island.
Yes.
We have 3 projects in Dubai Island now. You see that everybody. And when Mr. Ajmal, he launched his first project there, people were telling him, seriously, it was called back in the time Deira Island. Do you think it's going to be? But because he's visionary, because we are a strategic developer, we handpick where the locations that we choose, and even within the locations we have the best plots within the locations. That's why Prestige One stands out as a developer. We were, for example, as well the first to launch projects in Meydan Horizon. Now we have 3 projects in Meydan Horizon. We launched a project last December with Hilton Residences, and you know very well, for a big huge hospitality name like Hilton to put his name with Prestige One, they definitely know the value of Prestige One in the market. So we launched the first residential building for Hilton in Maritime City, the first waterfront residential project for Hilton. We're launching very soon it's as well another brand, which is Fauchon Paris. We are launching a project already. We announced it in Jumeirah Gardens, and we have so many upcoming launches. We never stop because, as I said, we are a self-reliant developer, zero debt. So we've got the money. We are building. We are here to stay and to stay very long term. And our highlight is definitely top-notch quality.
Thank you so much, Mirella. Thank you
Pleasure.
for coming today and joining us.
My pleasure.
Thank you to our investors. Please comment to know a little bit more about Prestige One and invest with us today.